So right now we just have this tom and the floor tom mic'd. Snare is mic'd top and bottom. Top is a 57, bottom is a 414. Audio Technica's on the toms. C12 as a single overhead, C12 coming across his drums. We have a ribbon mic, and like I said, all these mics, you don't have to use them, but if you're doing kind of a rock and roll Bonham sound, you can even do it with 3 mics. So that's what we have. So you have a kick drum mic, you have the center overhead, and you got that floor tom mic, and then you got a snare. So you can do it with 4 mics or 3. The style is cool in the technique of the miking, but once again, it doesn't have to be an old kit. It doesn't have to be a new kit. It could be anything you want. It's just more of the technique of doing that 3 mic setup. Kick drum, center overhead, and there's a mic near his floor tom coming across the whole drum set. A good way to start if you don't know how high to put your drums, depending on your room and depending on your drums and how loud the guy hits, I usually like to go about 2.5 sticks to 3 sticks. So hold a stick up from the center of the snare, and you put 1, and then you go 2, and then you go 3. And usually 3 lengths or 2.5 is fine with me. And then you do the same thing to the floor tom. You go 1, 2, 3, and it should be 3 stick lengths to the floor tom. That's going to ensure that you're in phase. Some people use measuring tapes. I just use drumsticks. So anyways, I still have the hi-hat mic. We could use it. We could not use it, but technically we're just talking about a rock and roll drum set, and then we're going to rock out a little bit. So now we're going to go in there and maybe break into a sweat. I don't know. All right, thanks. Now we got the kind of the rock setup. All the mics are fired up. Like I said, all the mics are going to be up all the times for all the sessions, but you can choose. If you really only had 4 mics, you can do the kick, snare, center overhead, and then the mic that comes across the side. And that's I'm just messing with the drums right now, and you can put them any level. It may be a little hot, but like I said, this isn't a record we're cutting. We're just giving the example of setting up the drums and trying to get a big sound. And it was like 20 minutes to set this up. Of course, it can get a little bit better, but it gives you an idea at a starting point. And one thing I've done to the room mics, I have delayed them a little bit, only because my room doesn't have any decay. So I'm just kind of putting the 2 mics, and like I said, I'm not committing to it, but I can slide them around later on when I'm mixing to get the right tempo with the right room. But right now, sounds cool, sounds thumping.